here, they're not going to be bullied on the trade stuff. Remember when the Trump administration told us that countries are going to be lining up to make trade deals? They're going to be just desperate to get a trade deal done with the United States after Trump put in place tariffs. Well, Japan just canceled their trip, and they've left Trump sort of standing at the door, waiting for his date to pick him up, and the date's not coming. Trump came into office again, promising that America First trade policy was going to make other countries desperate to cut deals, and to cut the deals on Trump's terms, importantly. And a terrified, begging Japan and China and every country would just be terrified and begging to come to the table and make a deal because they need us more than we need them, we were told. Fast forward to today. Japan's top trade negotiator has canceled his trip to DC. It hasn't been postponed because of bad weather. It hasn't been delayed because of an emergency, just canceled. And the reason is that Tokyo says there are technical problems with the deal. It's not even at a point where they want to negotiate. This is what diplomats say to communicate. We're in no rush. You don't have the cards. You just don't have the cards. Now, this was supposed to be the moment where Trump's tariffs, 25% on Japanese cars until they agree to terms, this was going to make Japan fold. They were going to be so desperate and eager to stop this. They would say, sir, we'll accept anything. And instead, what's happening is, number one, the White House already cut the tariffs from 25 to 15%, negotiating against themselves. And Japan is still not signing. Japan is still not even coming to the United States. And what they now want is for Trump to amend the reciprocal tariffs and lock in that there will be no stacking of tariffs, meaning even on the 15%, nothing else is going to be added. Trump gave that to the EU. And the kicker is that part of the deal includes Japan's $550 billion dollar investment package for the US, and that's free money that Trump can spend however he wants. Trump said about that part of the deal, it's our money, we can do whatever we want. Japan is saying, wait a second, that's not true. Those monies are going to be split and decided on based on who puts in what. And they haven't even signed off on written confirmation of the $550 billion, which Trump has already said is a done deal. So we need to zoom out here. Trump told Zelensky in the Oval Office a couple months ago, you don't have the cards. He scolded him and just pathetically condescending. He said to Zelensky, you don't have the cards. It seems we don't have the cards. And I hate to admit that. I wish we did have the cards. It'd be better for the country. But when Japan goes, we don't like this, we don't like that, we're not flying to the US, they just don't feel any urgency. Now, we have to really hold the administration accountable for what they promised. Trump said, my approach will terrify other countries about losing access to the US market. They're going to negotiate on our timeline. And Japan showed they're comfortable dragging it out and just making Trump wait. And the more they wait, the more it becomes clear that Trump doesn't have the leverage he claimed to have. Trump doesn't have the cards he believes that he has. This doesn't happen in a vacuum. We see it with other countries. When Japan sees that, China's not eager to come to a deal, Japan starts to think, maybe we don't need to come to a fast agreement either. And so with Japan dragging its feet and demanding changes and all of it, there is no real reason at this point to expect a deal anytime soon. We hold all the cards isn't working because it's just not true. And unfortunately, and I don't say this to brag, sometimes I hear from Republicans, David, you seem so thrilled that it's going terribly. I'm not thrilled at all. It's terrible for American companies, American consumers. But it seems to be the reality that we just don't have the leverage we thought we did. And other countries are making deals amongst themselves. It's going to be bad for Americans. It already is. We've got a great bonus show for you today. We will talk about Putin continuing to pound Kyiv, ignoring everything Trump said to him. Prosecutors have failed to obtain an indictment against a man who threw a sandwich at a federal agent. And 25 countries are suspending postal services to the United States over the tariffs. This is not good for average Americans. Another fail All of those stories and more on today's bonus show. Sign up at join